Hey guys, welcome back. Carter, BitsBeTrippin. Now this is going to be a different type of video. I had the folks over at BitCapitalGroup reach out and want to have a discussion around a position that they have available right now. We were trying to figure out the best way to approach this, if it was just a normal ad at the end of a video, or if we actually peel this back and kind of go through the steps of what a type of system admin position would be in a crypto mining farm. Now, while the qualifications have some basic requirements out there that would be normally associated with what you would consider a crypto mining specialist, somebody that could go in there, configure rigs, build rigs, troubleshoot issues, identify what the culprit on a particular, if we're talking a GPU mining rig, having the issue, and being able to squash that in a very quick and efficient way, including and not limited to remote access. What would a position look like and how would the qualifications lay out there? Now, in a position myself where I've had to hire potentially hundreds of people in my life, when you try to nest particular requirements around qualifications and you put certain times and years of experience around something, you're usually basing that on the fact that if you had like 5 years of exposure of something, you have seen enough iterations of issues, troubleshooting, and configuration management of something to qualify 5 years of experience of something is probably enough. There's a basic set of assumptions that's occurring there. And while some of these qualifications aren't really hard, must-haves, the basic premise is simple. So what I want to make sure is that we do this video justice and kind of get into what are the key aspects of maintaining and operating at almost an enterprise scale when it comes to a crypto mining farm, especially around GPU mining, which is why these guys reached out to me to help them get this specification out there, and then see if there's some folks that are in the audience that are maybe maintaining their own farm and take over as a system admin for a large farm. So let's peel this one back. We're going to look at 7 key understandings and areas around a position like this. A good understanding of cryptocurrency blockchains, a good understanding of cryptocurrency GPU mining ecosystem, an understanding of how to navigate Linux-based operating systems, maintaining an existing farm, and the ability to specifically talk out to experiences that you've had around that, supporting experience in any kind of enterprise environment, like if you're coming from like a data or cloud engineer, and then really how you are as a person when it comes to being a team player, good attitude, optimistic. So let's peel back what a good understanding of cryptocurrency blockchains are. When related to mining, it really comes down to identifying algorithms and the use within the cryptocurrency blockchain that we're talking about. So if we're talking about something like Ethereum uses Ethash. And Ethash has certain principles within GPU mining that you got to be aware of and having a good understanding of what their impacts are when you start changing things from a configuration management standpoint or in optimization and their impacts on these particular algorithms, where you have some things that are memory intensive and then you have some things that are core intensive if we're talking something like Ravencoin. And the ability to understand what is optimal for the particular farm and for the particular mining rigs in question are critical to being able to be a successful mining systems engineer. In addition, a good understanding of the GPU specific mining ecosystem. And what I'm talking about here is understanding the differences within AMD's offering, nVidia's offering, and the difference really between them when we're talking about the different types of memory used and what the cards are optimized to mine. So if we were looking at something like AMD's Polaris line, this would be optimized for memory-based intensive applications. So we're talking Ethereum Classic as the primary algorithms that these would be used for. And then like something like NVIDIA's RTX line being really optimized for things like Ergo and Ravencoin. Now, just knowing that piece of information is good and all, but being able to configure that and set that up in a script that is optimized for each GPU mining rig is really critical. So being able to adjust and tweak the miners to be optimized both for power and output, and capturing that is a critical requirement for a role like this. Next, being able to understand how to navigate within a Linux environment, specifically around the CLI, which is the command line interface. Being able to jump to different folders, update configurations, patch kernel and drivers as a very basic requirement. Now, this also could be configuring logs, making sure garbage collection's correct, and then grabbing any other metrics that are required for a specific farm. Now, some farms have custom implementations, including like our farm has a Pixie boot option where everything is done in memory. And as other farms start to evolve and change, pool management, pool configuration, failover support, all of that being wrapped within some of the configurations. And as new miners come out and new potential coins and algorithms, being able to customize that and optimize the configuration within the Linux environment, which by and large is just updating configuration files, is really threaded at the speed of how quick somebody can troubleshoot issues within Linux. So that comes down to the experience. And when you see something like 5 years of Linux experience, people have had a few cycles there to be able to do updates and configuration. So that's really what we mean around the great understanding around Linux environment within a cryptocurrency mining operation. Next, let's move to experience maintaining an existing farm. And this really comes down around a structured interview style of approach where it's sometimes hard to articulate how well you are at something. However, you can use examples of situations. So really bringing that to something like an interview on this would be, preparing and talking specific experiences that stand out, the ways that you've fixed a particular situation that may have taken you a few cycles to learn, but how did you go about troubleshooting the issue and squashing it? What's those quick wins that you can talk to, which really help refine the understanding of a person that is, one, motivated to be able to fix the issue, and two, being able to find the resources that are required. Not everybody knows everything. We all go out there to research for things, but how is that work through you? Your current experience within that space is vital to somebody that's identifying if a person's a good fit for a role like this. Next, we have support within enterprise environments, which give you the ancillary experience with working with network engineers or security patching, things that are kind of ancillary to a crypto mining farm, however, could be very critical, such as changing admin passwords, those sorts of things from a security standpoint, and knowing and identifying when there are known security holes that come up either in the application, a pool setting, something to that effect. Having some enterprise level experience usually gets you the cadence and understanding of the critical things of the ebb and flow of running an operation. So being able to cite that experience, if you have IT experience, does help in that type of thing. Now we get to a part of the 4-year degree or equivalent experience. And this really comes down to one of the most critical things that I believe in a space like this, that you have to have proper time management and an ability to review a backlog and be able to operate autonomously once you understand the basis of the position. And really 4-year degrees help kind of codify that from a refined skills, time management, project management, writing and articulation, and communication. So those type of things. However, you can have a relevant experience in a space and still learn a lot of those types of time management abilities and ability to be able to deliver on time or before time and understand the importance of the priority management there. Now, lastly, I would say, and this is almost equally as important as anything that was just covered in this, is really being a team player with a good attitude. I mean, you want to have somebody that's wanting to grow with the team, has a very optimistic style, especially during times of adversity when there's issues or you're having, very crunch time, being that positive reinforcement of like, hey, we're going to get there. Here's kind of the action plan and working through that. So having a good team player attitude, I think, really seals the deal on somebody that would be able to do a role like this. And it just helps everybody be able to work a little faster and smarter. Now, hopefully this wasn't too daunting for you guys. This is kind of a different approach at this particular type of video, and hopefully it gives a good baseline for any other farms or anybody out there looking for different roles that you can do this with. Now, to apply for this position, we have the links below. It's at bitcap.co/careers. And don't be afraid to shoot your shot out there, guys. Go out there, apply, make sure that you meet a pretty good amount of those requirements. And if you've been mining for quite a long time and ready to look for a move and change, this might be your opportunity. All right, I want to thank BitCap for bringing this opportunity to me to help you guys see if you can get a new role. And we'll catch you guys on the next one.